Hey guys, welcome back to PkrBlub. This is episode 2 of our podcast. So with me, Kundan, I have my co-host Projo here.
Yo, guys, what's up? Welcome
What's up,
back to the
guys?
channel.
We really appreciate you watching our podcast. So today, I wanted to show you guys an application of artificial intelligence since that's something we wanted to talk about. So, Projo, have you ever heard of RTX voice before?
No, bro. I heard it first from you, bro.
So,
Yeah.
is it okay if I show you an example of RTX
Yes.
voice real quick?
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is a video on Twitter. I'll just let it play.
It's not perfect, but it's like way better than anything you'd ever expect, right? Like I don't think an audio engineer could do any better than this in a live broadcast, not by a long shot. And I can even take the fan away. I can point it in different directions.
Oh,
I can move it around. I can
okay.
bang on the desk.
He's holding a
While
fan.
I'm talking to you guys, I can bang on the desk
Oh,
and have a fan
okay.
blowing at the microphone and my face, banging on the desk. So it's like a construction site. And you guys can still literally hear me fine, and I sound okay.
So,
like this.
Can
like
you listen him talking?
Okay, this is genuinely
Yeah.
the coolest shit I've ever seen.
But
All right, there. I just disabled the
guess-
filter. This is
So-
what it sounds like right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I just
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
right. I just try to show you like when the software is working and when it's not working. So
Yes.
hopefully at the end you're able to hear the hammer banging on the desk. But when the software was on, you couldn't hear the hammer banging on the desk while he was talking, and you could
Yes,
clearly hear
yeah.
his voice.
Yes, man.
So yeah, so this is
That was
one
really
place.
surprising.
I know,
Yeah.
right? So like artificial intelligence, when used this way, it can be very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I guess the risk of that is that could it be too powerful for
Uh-huh.
people, for people and artificial intelligence to coexist. So
Yes.
that was what we wanted to talk about. So, Prajwal, did you have any thoughts on artificial intelligence and jobs and automation and things like that?
Yes, bro. Firstly, I thought it was RDX, the bomb one,
Oh, okay,
but it was RTX. Okay, so
very
yes,
good.
it was new to me and it was quite surprising.
Hmm.
In the past, I have used the noise cancellation headphones,
Okay,
but yeah, I didn't know that a software can make such difference, man.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
This is purely software using
yeah.
using machine learning. So, and it was really impressive. Yeah.
So talking about machine learning, so what do you think the state of AI is like in today's world?
Okay, I can try to answer that with my like limited knowledge of
Hmm.
artificial intelligence.
Yes,
Um,
yes. Yeah, we all
so
know just a bit of it because all the peoples are just saying that the world in 10 years will be so and so, and
mhm,
yeah, you are learning the robotics and doing PhD on it. So I
right.
guess you might have significant information on that.
Okay, I definitely do not have significant amount of information, but I have used it. I have used machine
Uh-huh.
learning methods
Yes.
for my own purposes. So I can talk about what I have used.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at this point, I don't think there's anything that is as intelligent as a real person at this point,
Yes. Yeah,
or
yeah, that's
anywhere close to it actually. Um,
yeah.
so the machine learning or artificial intelligence that I have seen, usually you have to um, like give an example to the
Mm-hmm.
software on how something is done, or
Yeah.
you have to show
Yeah.
it, and then it will try to learn the relationship between. It will try to figure out how it works, right? Um,
Yeah.
so in a basic sense, that's how machine learning works, and in another part of machine learning or in another field of machine learning, um, the computer will can learn itself by trying out different things. It can learn how to act and behave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but those things, they take a lot of time and a lot of computational power, and
Yeah.
yeah, because of those limitations, I don't think uh, AIs are, like dangerous at this point, like too dangerous at this point.
Hmm. Okay, so talking about it, like how far do you see the approach? Like how far is it on the reach? How far is it away from utilizing it in daily life? Like just our phones, like you're using our phones and the automated self-driving cars
Uh-huh.
and all the stuffs, bro.
So, like how far it is from uh
Completion
from t-
that a normal
okay.
usage, like yeah.
So we're already seeing some uses of AI, like maybe you guys have used, Google Translate or,
Yeah.
things like that, or what's another example? I guess Google Translate is probably one of the better examples, but um, and maybe like sometimes when you point the camera at an image, it can tell you more about that thing, right? Uh,
Yes, yeah.
so
Image
so so
recognition.
Right, exactly. So those things, they all use some level of machine learning. So it's all being used. But if you're talking about autonomous driving, it
Hmm.
seems like it's already pretty powerful.
Hmm.
Like I've seen videos of Tesla cars, auto driving themselves, and
Yes.
and on highways pretty safely.
Hmm.
um, yeah, but there's always a risk of the computer not working as expected, and
Hmm.
I think that is
Yes, yeah.
something that needs to be like carefully studied before we should before we should or we can take
Hmm.
AI any further into our daily lives.
Yes. So what do you see the world after 10 years? Like how will the AI be? The machine
Uh,
learning?
it's really hard to tell because
Hmm.
recently the technology boom, it has been so rapid, and I don't think anyone 10 years back could have imagined how far like AI would have gotten, like
Hmm.
in how advanced it is today.
Hmm.
So I think it's pretty almost impossible for me to even try to predict what's going to happen. Um,
Well, yeah. So, okay, you're pretty neutral on that. Like 10 years time, one whole decade. So you think
uh,
it's gonna be pretty neutral.
okay, so what do you mean by neutral? Like, AI is not going to like take over the world or anything like that. Is that what you what do you mean by neutral?
Not take over the world, but we can use simple applications like RTX or something that's very useful for humanity.
Okay.
Like we can use it in our daily life, like automated cars,
Right.
self-driving cars.
Yeah, I don't think we're too far away from fully self-driving cars
Hmm.
at this point. What do you think? How do you think AI or automation and things like automation, I guess, mainly, how it affects us and our lives?
I think it's gonna grow exponentially, bro, because all the
Okay.
data collection firms they are trying to collect all the data and information for machine learning.
Okay.
And even thinking about internet, like it just started in 1995, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and now we are at 2021, and it's grown so much.
Yes.
So I guess now we have more resources and infrastructures for building
Mm-hmm.
AI, and
Yeah.
yeah, seeing the company Tesla.
Uh-huh.
So observing companies like that and other companies like Google as well or
Mm-hmm.
Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's in the next 10 years it will bloom.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna say that you brought up two really good points on how or why AI is starting to
Hmm.
be so commonplace. So one
Yeah.
of them are, so the two things you said, that's those are having a huge amount of data available,
Mm-hmm.
and having the infrastructure needed to support
Yes.
AI.
Yes.
And now, at least, so in some domains like advertisement, we have a
Mm-hmm.
huge amount of data, and
Yes. Yeah.
companies are already using that to
Yes.
to to,
Yeah.
to target ads for specific people.
Yes. Yeah.
um,
That's true.
and as everyone gets mobile phones and computers, I think a lot more people will have access to technology like that. And since more people have access to it, there are going to be more people who can use it creatively,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
hopefully achieve, like, goals that benefit our lives.
Yes,
uh,
bro. Yeah.
right.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
so
So.
I definitely agree with you.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So the good old question. So,
Mhm.
do you ever think that machines will take over humanity? Like we have seen in the in the films
Yeah,
and science fictions.
right, right,
So there's always that the popular film Terminator doing that.
right, 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 right. Yeah.
So
Uh,
what is your take on that? In the
um,
vast future, maybe?
right. It's, I don't know. I guess it's possible. So I've heard that Elon Musk is pretty afraid that AI development might, it maybe, I think he thinks that it's too rapid or something, and we
Hmm.
we won't be able to handle
Hmm.
what AI we produce.
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
it's a real risk because um, you know how people uh, I guess people who are not too tech savvy or tech literate,
Yes.
um, it's difficult for them to distinguish between what's true and what's false, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
from
yeah.
like there's so much the news that is not real, not true, and it's
Yeah.
getting out to the people, and people believe that, right?
Yes,
Um,
bro. The one thing was like the I don't know the name, but Google created its assistant, like it can answer the phone.
right. Yes, that's true.
Do you know
Yep.
about that? Yeah, and
I,
that's
I,
like
I actually use it. Yeah.
oh, you use it. Okay.
That's
That's
a really
pretty
good example of AI, and
yeah.
that's a really
Yeah.
good example of AI. I
Yeah,
actually
and
use it
people
myself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were really thinking that they were talking to a real person. Yeah, I have heard
Yeah.
the news like that.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, they could make it so that you wouldn't be able to tell, but right now they just say at the start that this is Google Assistant, so you don't get
Mhm.
confused.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but like whenever I get spam calls from people I don't know, I usually make Google Assistant take it, and I only pick up the call myself if it's someone I know.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so
yeah.
I use it that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I guess what we're saying, it's kind of similar. Like people won't be able to tell, what's true from what's not.
Yeah, yeah.
Like going back to the news example, I guess
Mhm.
AI could be used to generate false news, and targets people who would believe that kind of news. And um,
Uh,
I think
yeah,
that could be used very maliciously. I think it's already being used in a bad way
yeah. It's
to to
already
to
being
cause
used. Like,
divide between people. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The Facebook's campaign was already sued in the court, I guess, but
What
I don't know.
happened?
I
What
don't know
happened there?
deeply. Like the company that used Facebook also
Mm-hmm.
stole the people's information and sold it to the political parties or something like that, I
Oh,
guess. And
okay.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, they
okay.
used to get votes or something like that.
Okay, I see. So while I think that robots can be used maliciously, or
Yes,
artificial intelligence can be used maliciously, I
yes.
think, like, or a non-real person using it to become the ultimate master. I think that would be, that's still
Yeah,
pretty far from reality at this point.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but my take is that it will only affect certain people's, like right now as well. People are addicted to cell phones, smartphones. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but still they can function in the world, like they are
Right.
achieving their stuffs. It's not totally like addicting them. It's not consuming their whole 100% energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's affecting them, but it's not affecting like that. So my what I think is later it won't be like only the few percent of people will be affected through the machines, I guess.
Okay. So
Yeah.
are these people like more vulnerable to these kind of attacks or uh,
Yeah,
uh,
obviously they are gonna be really vulnerable because yeah, they don't know just because they don't know.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a big risk. Like whenever get left behind,
Hmm.
I guess there's two sides
Yes.
to everything.
Hmm.
Um,
But yeah, yes, bro. But I still think humanity will rule and create more technology and more updates, software updates to control this, control the artificial intelligence, I guess. For
right.
example,
Yeah.
self detonating with mode or something like that. Self dismantling
Okay.
mode. Yeah, if
Okay.
it
Yeah.
got
The
if it
big red
yeah
button.
yeah
Yeah.
if it crosses certain limit, then please dismantle yourself. The
Okay.
code
Okay.
like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. That's
Yes.
good.
So
Do you also want to talk about like how automation is taking away some jobs, some types of jobs? Do you also want to talk about that? Do you have
oh
an
yeah,
opinion on that?
yeah, bro. That's really an interesting topic, but I have always seen like the people replying to me in the internet. Like if I wanna ask a certain question about the features I'm using in a company, it's always
Mm-hmm.
bots that are first
Oh,
answering you,
right, right.
and then
Yes.
they pick my problems and
Uh-huh.
they create a question and then they pass it to the real human beings.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That's a good
Yeah,
example of how
yeah,
bots are being used. Yeah.
yeah. I guess that's taking a lot of jobs
Mm,
because earlier people only peoples were doing the same thing,
right,
you know.
right, yeah.
The other examples, do we have anyone?
I don't have any examples. Well, I guess that there's something. I guess I do have one example.
Hmm.
That has to do with autonomous driving and
Hmm.
how
Yeah.
it could be
Yes,
used to replace
yes,
drivers. Like truck drivers and stuff.
yes.
Um, Yeah, so I guess that's another example. But
Yeah.
what is your take on, automation taking away jobs in general?
So my take is like there will always be balance. Like if human beings are thrown away from that job, I guess people will utilize their time for more greater things. So there will always be a place for something, I guess, because as we can see the nature of life, there are infinite things going on, and the problem is always going greater and greater.
Hmm. Things are getting
So
more complex.
yeah, it's getting more complex, and I guess yeah, those those jobs will get covered up.
Okay,
But
so you're saying people will adapt and,
yeah,
basically create new jobs.
yeah, that's one of the greatest character of being human. Like human being can adapt to new things.
Okay, well, I guess the counterpoint to that is, some people, especially maybe from the older generation or from underprivileged backgrounds
Mhm.
who
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have access to the latest technology. What I mean, like people like you and me, like we have been, engaged with technology since we were kids.
yes,
So
Yes.
For us, it may not be too difficult to adapt, but for
Hmm.
other people like that, wouldn't they get
Yeah.
left behind or have no
Yeah.
place in the world
Yeah.
if they don't keep up?
Yeah. I don't think they will get certain disadvantage out of it. Like in the rural areas, the world is the life is still going on, you know.
Right, right.
Like the whole, for example, in a area like in a whole village, there is no technology that's latest out there. They are
Mm-hmm.
using 10 years technologies from 10 years ago. So it's
Well,
still
that's
it's
true.
working. They are doing their work.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
the one thing is like for the one who want to come up from underprivileged family, I guess it
Mm-hmm.
will be, yeah, it will be a lot difficult for them.
Right. I
Yes.
mean, so you gave the example of villages, but like everything is getting modernized these days, right? So
Yeah.
like village people, for example, are they protected from AI taking away jobs, or are they just um, yeah, or have they not even like gotten to the point yet? Have they not just not developed to that point? Like tech in terms of technology, to be affected by this,
Yeah. They are not at the point at all.
right?
They are even not at the point. They are
Mm-hmm.
not starting at all. Like they are 10 years backwards, or
Okay.
maybe 15 or 20 years back.
Yeah, I guess this is
Yeah.
a pretty complex topic, and
Yes. So yeah,
it's hard to
this
talk
will
about without
yeah
people.
this will create a whole another topic because people don't even
Yeah,
have a water supply system in their house. So
yeah,
we
right,
can
right.
talk AI there. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
infrastructure is not set.
uh, mhm.
So yes, bro. Yeah, that's
Right.
interesting. Because you know much more about it, I thought it's your take is like that. But in the past, the things have grown exponentially when the
Mhm.
technology has disrupted many sectors.
Mhm. Could you try to put explain it one more time?
Okay,
What do you mean by
so in the past, there is one example of the horse industry.
okay?
Yeah, the people were riding on it, but after the motor vehicles came,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the horse industry got totally wiped up in under 14 years or something. I'm not sure, but it
Mm-hmm.
was under something like that.
Right.
So just in a decade, more than one and a half half a decade, the
Mm-hmm.
whole industry got wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I think so. With that example, I think AI will also do something like that.
It will wipe out certain industries.
Yeah, just like people losing their jobs and they need to adapt on new things.
Right. But the horse industry, like looking back at it now, it doesn't seem like in today's world it has like the horse industry, it has no place, right? And I guess like getting rid of that, we have access to better technology like cars, for example,
Yes,
which
yes,
are much faster, probably more efficient.
yes.
Um,
So the main thing is auto industry wiped up the horse industry in just one and a half decade, maybe 2 decades,
mhm,
but those decades are really short. Like the
mhm.
horse industries were established like 100 or maybe 50 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I want to say is like the when it comes to new technologies and so many
Mhm,
people are working on it, I guess it will grow much more rapidly than what we think. So that's why many of the entrepreneurs and many of the scientists are also thinking like that.
mhm.
Yeah,
So
but
you're saying
I haven't
that,
researched deeply.
right? Yeah, yeah. It's a very difficult topic.
Yeah.
It affects a lot of people, and we can't make any rash decisions, right?
Yes.
But anyway, if I am understanding your point correctly, you're saying that Like ultimately, as technology evolves, it leads to better things. And sometimes, like for example, the horse industry,
Yes.
that is the cost of having to move forward.
Yeah. 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 That's the cost.
Okay.
So it's going to disrupt many industries. Well, the horse industry was just one
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
aspect. Like after that, what? Where did the horse go?
Yeah. Right.
People were eating the horses' meat, bro.
Really.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the food industry also got disrupted.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah. So it
Yeah.
will definitely have like
Yeah.
a lot of effects, side effects, right?
Yes.
We
So
haven't even considered. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So yeah.
okay. So let's just wrap up this discussion. So I guess our conclusion is that um, AI has and will have like such wide effect, like
Yeah.
widespread effects that it will basically change the world that we have it right now. Like
Yeah.
for like the cars wiping out the horses, it will
Yeah.
basically change, everything we see.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds good to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay then, bro. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Thanks for explaining
Thank.
the RTX and all the machine learning things. It was
Yeah,
really new to
it's
me as well. I haven't thought that deeply on the topic, but yeah, I learned a lot of stuff.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is I'm really interested in these things, and I guess my work also relates to
Yeah.
machine learning. So I'm glad to be working in this industry, but obviously, like we talked about, there's a lot of other issues, other
Yeah.
than the technology side that
Yeah.
we need to consider. Anyway,
Okay.
it was a really I had a really good time talking to you.
So I just want to thank all the listeners who are listening, and I hope they get value from our talk. And thanks to
Yeah,
you for explaining all this stuff, man. That was
it
really
was
great.
my pleasure. Yeah, it was my pleasure,
Okay.
man. All right, guys.
Okay.
Then
So yeah,
we'll see you guys in the next episode. Then.
of PkrBlub.
Yes, that's right. All right, guys. Bye bye.
Okay.